When the flame is lit, truth will gather.
Peace and blessings from 113 of Arisha Stone. You already know what time it is. Tuesday. Big shout out to Ogun. Big shout out to we know now. Never has been made so clear. Young Elder is in the building, y'all. What's going on with you?
Hey, peace to all the gods. Peace to all the gods. Hey, peace to the ancestors. Keep holding us down. The ancestors keep. Well, I can't say they holding us down. They lifting us up at this point. You know what I'm saying? They lifting us up. The ancestors, man.
I sure.
Hey, your thumbnail's getting fired. I see that thumbnail fire, man.
Man, you put me on, man. I had to hit the Sheep Black Rock. I said, yo, your elder said I got to step it up, man.
Your thumbnail's getting fire, man. I'm telling you, man. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, y'all. I'm about to get it cracking, okay?
Man, before we go and get started, man, I got to ask you this question, man. You hear this old crazy shit? As soon as niggas start talking about getting back in tune with nature, as soon as we start talking about, you know what I'm saying, getting to our higher self and becoming one with Natir and all this stuff, wow, everything they going to do, they drop a documentary in the summertime, Kundalini Energy, right? They drop a documentary on Nature Boy.
Oh yeah, I just had played a little clip on Nature Boy on the tape I did with old girl, with the shout out Lady V Indigenous. Nature Boy, man. I think that he let, like, when he had a turn, man. He had a turn. I think he was doing good at first, but then once he saw how much power he had with women, he wasn't that type of guy. They got women like naturally. So when he started doing the you can't call it a cult because that's the thing. They came out with this word called they came out with the Cult Busters in the 1980s when they raided Waco, when they raided the guys in Utah that had these camps, these Mormon camps. The one fraction of COINTELPRO. The aim really was to ultimately label certain black organizations essentially as a cult so that they can take them down and put them into court and shut them down and steal all of whatever they wealth that they set up. So and that's the same thing. So when you say cult is a slick spell word because it's a shortening or prefix to culture. So was Nature Boy, back to Nature Boy, was Nature Boy, he had a good name, but was he setting up a culture? Seemed like to me he really was just running, because all of these guys that want to be the guy, they always got to have people bowing before them. That's how you know who's who. I'm gonna tell you how you know who's who. I'm gonna give you a story of what happened in ancient times. Back in the day, when the Netarus or the Najarus, who is us, we just keep reincarnating. We chose to come back here to teach the humans. And some of the gods, some of the Anarchies, we wouldn't call Anarchies at this time. We would call Najarus. This is like the next generation after the Pyramid Wars. Once we came back from Orion, this when Tahuti and Murdoch now set up the schools, the halls of Amenti down in the center of the earth, and then they came and started reactivating some of the mounds and pyramids and setting up holy sites and initiation temples at the mounds. The mounds were used for initiations, and some of the people, when they got initiated to certain ranks, they get taken up on UFOs go out. The ancestors was doing all of this, right? That's what the mounds really were landing pads and ceremonial pads. But Tahuti never reactivated this, and I'm getting to the storyline of what I'm talking about these people, like Satuk, my uncle Satuk. Uh, so when we came, it was for a few Anunnakis didn't want the humans to learn what they knew, but the orders was to teach the humans. Some of the some of these Najarus at this time now called Jajarus, they started teaching the humans like Tahuti and Murdoch. Murdoch was more instrumental in teaching humans how to fight in battle and war. And so like that's what one of his names is Mantu, right? And that's why both of those gods, when you look them up, Ra and Mantu got the same headdress because they're the same people. And Murdoch taught the Magi's and other people this Mantu art form. But what happens is, so you had some gods, and it's people like this in the world today. You had some gods, and God, in our definition, is whoever's in control. Keep that in mind as I tell you this story. God is whoever's in control. But some gods, like Satuk, didn't want the humans to know what everything that we knew. So he only would give them bits and pieces, but he would make them pay for it. So let me give you an example. So the humans didn't know how to fish, but Satuk and his priesthood, they knew how to fish. So they would go catch all the fish, bring them to a market, and then the people would come there and had to beg or pay or do slavery, whatever, for to get this fish, right? And pretty much Satuk was in control of the of these people's food supplies, so they had to bow to him as a god to get what they needed to survive. So he was in control because they didn't know how to go and be independent like the goat and do what they do for themselves. Like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, they got trapped in having to bow to someone, right? So they had to bow to Satuk. But one day, Satuk tried to pull a twisted game on these people, and he decided to take a vacation and shut down the fishing operation for a week or two to make the people starve and to gain more control, to make them bow even more. He was a guy like Show Enough off of Last Dragon with Bruce Leroy. Remember that movie? The guy Show Enough, bow, kiss my shoes, sucker. He just said shit like Bruce Leroy catching bullets with his teeth, nigga, please. Right, that type of attitude. That's the type of attitude that Satuk had. Right, and so he went took a vacation. The people big, and then when the people big, they said we got to go to Osiris, which is the Lord of the Perfect Black, Osir, Satuk's brother. So they went to Satuk's brother and said that, hey, where's your brother? Because we starving out here. We need fish. We don't know how to fish. Remember that story about teach a man how to fish? You fish him for a lifetime. Teach him how to feed him for a lifetime. Teach him how to give him a fish. He come back every day. That's Satuk's every move. Give him one fish. He don't want to teach you how to fish. He want to give you one fish a day so you can keep coming back. It's niggas out here like that. That's what Nature Boy turned into. But let me finish the story. Osiris, when they came to Osiris said, when they told Osiris they ain't know how to fish, he said, and you ain't know how to fish. That's simple. Because Osiris got a good heart. He said, that's simple. So he took him out to the Nile. And hey, we know now the Nile, it could have been the Nile over here, the Mississippi, right? Because you got the blue Nile, the white Nile, the yellow Nile. The yellow Nile is in China, and they call it the Yellow River. And then the green Nile is the Amazon River. The red Nile is the Mississippi River. So the red Nile, he took him out to the Nile River, right? And he said, "This is how you do it. You get the bamboo. You put you put some You put the rope on there, the screen. You put a hook on there, put bait on there. You throw it out there. You wiggle it. The fish jump on. You get it. Then he showed them how to use a net. So the people started catching their own fish, and they thanked Osiris. And Osiris went back to doing what he was doing. And he was already teaching them how to read and write. That's another thing that Satuk didn't like. He was teaching the humans how to read and write in their language. And then the Metaneta, they call it the words of God or the language of God. And so he was teaching them how to do that. That was another thing. But when Satuk came back off vacation and he telling his guys had to go get some fish, they came back and set up their camp, their little market. They waited on people to come. Nobody came. Nobody came because so Osiris taught them how to fish. So once nobody came for a while, Satuk he got angry, said, "What the hell is going on?" So he went out to go look, and he went out and asked around and saw that the people, they was already eating fish. And so he got mad and said, "Where y'all got this fish from?" It's kind of like the same story lie in the beginning of Genesis when Enlil, who was the God, who was one of the Yahweh Elohims, he really was the Yahweh Elohim walking in the cool of the day, that said to Eve, "Who told you this? Who taught y'all this? Because now you don't need, because whoever taught whatever they taught them, they didn't need Enlil no more." So yeah, that's what, whoever these guys that taught Eve or Adam, then made him to where they ain't need Enlil no more, and it pissed him off, and that's why he cursed them. But going back to Satuk. Satuk said, "Who taught y'all this?" They said, "Osiris, your brother, he taught us how to fish. We don't need you no more." Right? Man, you tell so Satuk got angry. This is one of the plots that start. This one of the things that started the plot, and this was happening in several different incidents. And this started the plot where Satuk wanted to get rid of Osiris because he was pretty much blocking, going around stopping him from people from being taken advantage of by him. Then he knew some knowledge and he went and spread it. That's what the Freemasons all about. They don't really know nothing technically. They really don't know nothing technically, but I got some tapes that are coming out in the next 2 days that's gonna twist their cap back. But eventually, like you said, him wanted to take out Osiris, but it's people out like that in this world that you might think they got knowledge. They might have, and most of these niggas, a lot of them at the top are the ones that's really kicking some good shit. They got it from Dr. Malachi Z. York, and they got it from one of them books, one of some of his tapes, and then they going out spitting that shit. Then they don't never say nothing about Doc, right? But they spit that shit, and then people thinking that it's they shit, and then they say, "Oh, he like a god," because Doc was a god. So they spitting the word, they spitting these different things, and then some of them even go into depth. They really students of Dr. Malachi Z. York. Some of these guys, even like Nature Boy, he started, like, if you go back and listen to some of his old tapes, he used that information to become a womanizer. He used the information. Yeah.
He was a womanizer. He was a womanizer. It wasn't just women over. Listen, a lot of people.
He was doing men and women. Yeah, he was doing men and women.
That's what I'm saying. When you got something like him, I'm glad what you said, because everything you said really hit to the point of it's big business keeping you sleep. That's what you just said. You know what I'm saying? It's big business keeping you sleep. A lot of a lot of these Nature Boys out here and stuff like that, and their main thing is be an agent.
Young Pharaoh, all of man. Young Pharaoh. When I first, my bad, but Young Pharaoh, all of them.
I don't care. I mean, I respect Young Pharaoh because when he first came out, it was a little different. And then we don't hear people when people give that call for help. So it was like when Young Pharaoh did before he went, you know what I'm saying? But he was egotistical too. And that'd be the hardest to fall to when you be too egotistical. Yeah. But it's a bunch of them. It's a bunch of them in the game right now. It's like, shit. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna say no name, but your boy, the way he came at me the other day. You see what I'm saying? It's one thing to support your business, but then what the followers got to do with it? You see what I'm saying? So it's like, who's really put a time? That'd be the telltale signs that who really for the tribe and who really for the, you know what I'm saying, just be seen. Who's the new nature boy?
But you notice, look, but I'm gonna tell you, man, I swear, like now we in 2026, all them niggas that came out and did that, look where they at now. Like yeah, look where they at now. Like look at where Nature Boy at now. He came out using dark shit, used that shit to manipulate them women and shit. And then now look at him. Boom. I could say some other names y'all might not like you know, some Jamals and all these other
I be
guys.
trying to respect y'all.
Yeah,
Listen,
Jamals
I be
and
trying
all
to be
these other
politically
guys.
correct. I don't give a fuck about none of them. I know everything. You know what I'm saying? So look,
Young
I don't
Pharaoh,
know,
he got shut down.
bro.
He came out talking
this
shit.
for the ones that's in the community that know what the community really do, right? For all the real ones that was really out there seeing things and really doing something for the so-called country community. I had to go find out, why nobody checked Nature Boy. Like, is he really an agent? They said it was his mom and daddy. They said that's what's keeping him safe.
Nah, man, that nigga was never got no coochie, and he was getting different types of coochie at one time, and it went to his head. And then he got some. He was getting so much coochie, he got tired of the coochie, and then he jumped to the man. He jumped on the man. So I want to hit the man.
Hey, young
Yeah,
elder.
for the back. He went
Hey,
live
young
on the
elder.
shit, huh?
I was gonna
Yeah.
tell you, you know, everybody kind of controversial about Young Pharaoh, but he already, you know, broke that down, you feel me, with Nature Boy. So you feel me, if you wanna like the real deal, he done got the receipts and did all the research, and it ain't it kind of looked like plants, you feel me, like certain people be planted, but from our perspective, it looked like they know what they know and they in it, and because you know, all right, think about it like this. You feel me? Imagine me being somebody who you know, got this wisdom and whatnot. And then imagine somebody just listening to me out of nowhere. You feel me? And this would be like they first time listening to me. And from their perspective, you feel me? It sounds like I know everything. It sounds like I'm on the right path. You feel me? But let's say somebody who already knew me for like 5 years hadn't already recognized me for what I was. So you feel me? They just hadn't came out and, you know, exposed it because out of fear or whatnot that nobody will believe them, or however he might have connections or whatnot. Like it's kind of deeper than just than what we see on the surface. You feel me? It's people who be really planted, who from our perspective we can't really tell, because when we hear the wisdom that they project from their vocal cords, you feel me? It kind of captivate us our spirits, you feel me? Because it's truth within the with like they'll say a lot of truth, but we won't necessarily see the contradiction in their actions until like it get too late. Just how in regular life, you feel me? Let's say you got a homeboy and you see all the subtle stuff, you feel me? But you don't really pay attention to it because he your homeboy is just nothing. But like, let's say it get to the point where you feel me, y'all end up splitting or whatnot, and then you start going through your mind all the little small stuff that you didn't really pay attention to because y'all was cool at first, but then you start to see it in the end due to the end result. It's kind of deeper than, you feel me, the surface of how it look, you feel me?
No, I'm glad you said it, because that goes into algorithms, that go to keyword trigger words and everything else. All of a sudden, when the community start upgrading or getting when Rashid Jamal said Kundalini energy, and we into the summertime, you know what I'm saying, they always gonna come up with something to try to keep us from connecting and going out in nature and linking up and everything else. You know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden you got Usher talking about chakras. Now all of a sudden you got Chris Brown talking about chakras. All this like shit. Niggas ain't even really on that shit like that, but people just go for it because it's brand new, it sound good. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, case in point, and don't know this. You study Sharia, don't it, young elder?
Say that again.
You study Sharia?
Is it another name for it?
Islamic law.
Oh yeah. Some of that. Yeah, I ain't really expert on Islam, but I do study. Like I study a lot of it, like through Doc, like what Doc was teaching.
Man, next week I'm gonna bring a special guest on Brother Bilal. I think you won't like him because he was really influential in the Ansar community in Mississippi. But the reason I say this is because, you know, we got an etiquette. Everybody's supposed to have, especially when it comes to tribal law, Islamic law, Sharia, whatever you want to call it, right? There's different things you can do. So that's how you can tell, like you said, those little telltale signs, but we got to start paying attention to the signs. And then one sign is they'll tell you, like certain men, the way they say they beard, that's how you can tell them. And it tells you spiritually what it is. You know what I'm saying? They say, have you ever seen, do Muslims wear gold? Muslim men?
Not the one, not certain ones. It depends on what group they
I
from.
ain't, saying, I ain't gonna say their name. So you see some of these dudes talking that talk, and all they do is regurgitate.
Yeah, I really ain't never seen really too many Muslims with no jewelry. Really, they probably wear like a ring or a watch. Like
That's how you can tell the agents, because certain people do certain things that, wait a minute, he ain't supposed to do that. He ain't. That's not, when you be in a masjid, you got to stand a certain way. You got to do all these certain things, so you can tell the agent. But we don't stand by code no more. We don't, you know what I'm saying, code of conduct and knowing each other no more. That's why it's so easy for just anybody to be a plant. But a lot of these dudes, I be challenging them. I be like, yo, man, you doing all these shows. You ain't brought nobody from the past, from your like your Black Rock. You ain't brought nobody on the show from your past that know you for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you just on the social media revolution and everything? Are you just doing it for the cash app? Because a lot of them just in it for the cash app. You know what I'm saying? So,
you know what I think? Because I was on that Young Pharaoh thing. That I ain't really like. I think Young Pharaoh's cool, but the only thing I got against Young Pharaoh is that when he first came out on Saturday Night TV, I was listening to him, and he was talking, and I said, "Oh yeah, well, he a student of Dr. Malachi York." Just off of listening to what he was teaching, it's like some shit was word for word. And then when somebody called him on it, and saw somebody called him on it, he went on a full wide campaign to try to deframe Malachi to where I can't be teaching Malachi information because he's this and that. That's went on a nonstop campaign. Now look at him. To me, then he got all these. He just went he went to a whole nother page after a while when he went on that campaign. So that's the only thing I had against him. I don't got him against him going against Nature Boy, whoever else he going against. It's just that he did that. I know exactly what he did.
They just know how to get into the algorithm. They know what conversation to have. I ain't mad about his receipts. That's just like one of us. We might be real everybody real up until, you know what I'm saying, the boule pop up on you and offer you something you ain't never seen before, especially like you said, especially the people that ain't never had none before. They ain't never been with no woman before. They ain't never had no money before. So it's a lot of them easy to be tempted. But dog, you're right about Nature Boy.
Nature Boy go to Atlanta after he got kicked out of exiled off from over there in Mexico where he was. He then goes to Atlanta and hook up with some of the pimps out there. And then he started getting that spirit rubbed off on him. And by he already got these people under manipulation and mind control, doing Aleister Crowley rituals like drinking semen, all kind of other shit. Right? That's part of the serpent ritual. That's one of the serpent rituals. They did that in ancient. Yeah. That's part of the serpent ritual.
Oh my bad. I didn't know you was go ahead, continue on Young Elder.
I'm gonna say this time, then I'm gonna be done. But he went to Atlanta and hooked up with a couple of these guys that's real pimps. They rubbed off on him, and then he started getting involved with that spirit, that mentality rubbed off on him. He started adding that to his repertoire of what he was already doing, and pretty much that brought down the heat on him. He riding around like he a pimp. And he's supposed to be a spiritual leader that don't line up. So the Atlanta PD, all these guys.
Something about Atlanta turning them out, bringing it about them. Cause that go for Brother Polite. They go for a whole lot of them, bro. They be making us look bad out here. But I don't think Brother Polite anyway. Yeah, Brother. I told him. I had a whole conversation with him. He tried to trump me off. And then when he got locked up, he tried to damn be cool. It's a bunch of them when they get locked up, they want to be cool and everything else. I'm like, what I look like talking to you now? Especially with you pleading guilty to this shit. You know what I'm saying? First off, you got how many wives? If you got all these wives, how you get caught up in a situation like that, man? I'm always got that shit don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying?
Polite should have kept his original 2 wives that he always had. The ones that are the only 2 that love him. The other ones, when he started going and trying to hang out with Mayweather and them, trying to be famous, that's where he fucked up at. Then he really fucked up at is where he turned against Dr. Malachi York. That was his ultimately, because the ancestors said, all right, well, you don't want to spread the gospel. Boom, cut him off. And
And he
then
got
he met this light skinned chick. He met this light skinned chick who was just an add-on. She wasn't even around long, but she used her daughter as a decoy to set Polite up to get money out of him. Then when Polite wouldn't pay, they went to the Florida courts and filed charges on him. Polite took a plea deal to not have sex offender on his. He only did doing 7 years, but he took he pleaded guilty to a lesser charge of I think it was something else like endangerment or something, where he ain't gonna have sex offender on his license. But he got set up. He got set up by them people. He got set up by
you falling for that one. You falling for the okie doke. You can't be no leader in the community. He's stripped.
Yeah, because you know why? Because he out there, he's drinking strong drinks, and he got money. He riding around and he renting all these cars. Some places, he renting all of these cars because you can rent them like for $300 a day or something like that. And he go out there get these cars. He riding around. He got he good at the stock market though. He was getting still. Don't get me wrong. Polite really was getting money off the stock market and all that, but he riding around with a lot of money. So, and he really ain't that good looking. I ain't no homo. He really ain't that. He really like a frog man, kind of like a chocolate frog man. So he ain't really getting no girls like that. So the girls that he got, he ought to be lucky. His 2 wives that he had, he ought to be lucky that he had them. So why would you want to go out, man? Why would you want to go out and get some light skinned chick? Because them chocolate niggas like to get light skinned chicks. And they get him, he get this chick that's all about only with him because he got some money.
Oh,
if he ain't have no money, his other 2 wives, they was with him when he ain't have no money. But this other new chick, she got with him because he got some money, but he ugly as hell. And then so what that tell you, he walked right into the shit. Hey, if you don't want to pay, once you don't want to pay this girl or give her no money, she's gonna either don't want to fuck with you no more, or concoct a story or she was already sent to set Polite up anyway from the jump with the whole get down. Because when they took Polite down, they have him labeled as not a provocateur. They had him labeled as an influencer. You know what that means? When they label you as an influencer, that means you go to Florence, Colorado, influence where Jeff Ford, Larry Hoover, and Dr. Malachi York is it, because they were afraid of their influence, right? Influence, Colorado. Go look it up. The most supermax prison in the United States Corps of America, of Snakes of America, man.
Man, what you got against snakes, bro? What do you have against snakes? It don't be us.
No. I'm really not got nothing against snakes. It's just state rhyme with snake, so it's like a catchy title. But like I say, not all snakes.
The snake rhyme with eagle.
It's only 1/3. It's only 1/3 of the snakes that went bad. The other 2/3 were good.
I say, yeah, man. No, man, it's a bunch of frauds out there, man. And I just think they out here to slow us down, or slow down with what we really out here trying to do. And that's educate the community and build. And for everybody that went out there with young, what's the name, Nature Boy, those were beta males anyway. If you got a man, one thing I say about Islam, they'll tell you got to be the head of your house before you try to be the head of anything else. You know what I'm saying? If you going out here, the first thing Nature Boy said, I call him out like, yo, shit, you know what I'm saying? You know me, I'm trying to link over there, but Nature Boy, shit, how can we, you know what I'm saying? First he tell us you can't have a wife when you come here. If you come here, you and your wife are no longer together. This lame. Who is you talking to, man? I'm not one of them. You know what I'm saying? All them dudes went out there. That's the slow class of the conscious community. You know what I'm saying? You got to get the road to show us. Yeah, go ahead, guys.
I want to just say why I kind of give young Pharaoh grace. Me perspectively, I done seen it from the beginning, not the whole beginning. Like, let's say I done caught on to him like in 20% of his beginning, and I done witnessed everything, the rise and everything. So I give him grace because, he just went through what we were speaking about last episode with the egregore, the energy. It's like, all right, so from my perspective, think about it like this. So he was speaking his real stuff, saying this information, right? And then I'm gonna also say from add in something about Young Elder's point, how when Young Elder said that he was saying some Malachi information, right? A lot of the time, people find stuff on the internet at a young age and they don't necessarily take record of what they're looking at. They just record the information in their head. So he probably might not have acknowledged the name, because me specifically, throughout my whole beginning of consciousness, I was just taking in information. The only names I really remember was Bobby Hemmett, you feel me, and stuff like that and all that. But other names, I can't put the names. I done seen a lot of videos and I didn't even know that I seen Malachi York stuff until I got older and would go back in the video and see that it was people just putting his information out on their platform. So the reason why I give him grace is because I give people who go through I give people who mean well but go through pain that distort their actions. Sometimes people mean well within they, you know, life purpose, and then they go through things in their personal life that we don't necessarily know about, you feel me, and they have this you know, this internal pain within them, you feel me. And then on top of that, not only that, you know, you getting threats from the government or whatnot, from local police or whatnot for whatever you're doing. You got people who you feel, let's say you may feel like you going out your way to help them and educate them, but they coming on your platform trolling. You got people who go on to other people's platform, sending them stuff in their comments, saying that you said that you want to meet up with them, and now you feel me, like that's how the whole Rashad Jamal and Young Pharaoh thing got into it or started, because people going to another person's chat and talking about, hey, you should do a video with this person, you should do it. You don't know how they feel about each other, if they even know each other. So of course, when they start to say, I don't even know that dude. So when the other dude hear it, he be like, what you mean you don't know me, man? I'm known. So it kind of starts you feel me? So people go through stuff, they have all this pain and stuff, and we looking at it from the outside. But when we actually look at the fact that, you know, pain could distort a person's purpose, and nobody is just purely pure or purely good. Depending on the situations we go through in life could take us down the evil path. It depending on what we go through, that might affect us in an emotional way, or you feel me, depending on the level of it. I'll say it like this: there's levels to love, there's levels to hate, there's levels to pain. Meaning love is a multi-experiential energy. It experiences through everybody and through multiple scenarios and sequences. How you could experience love, you feel me? And the way you experience love might be a level of love that I might not have experienced, but that doesn't take away from the point that is love, you feel me? So regardless of the experience of love, love is love. So regardless of the experience of pain, pain is pain, you feel me? And some people go through certain types of pain that they might not be able to withstand, depending on what they may have went through before that, going through that, and what led to what happened. You feel, that's my perspective on it.
And I respect it and I love you for it. But that's why I say, like we gotta be all right, boom. Like I say, answer community. If you're in the community or if you're in any of these tribes, you have a code of conduct, you have etiquette, you have a fence way of what you're supposed to be doing and not doing. If you don't do, it's no sense in being here if you're not going. If you're here, that means you're pledging an oath of saying, I'm gonna do what we're supposed to do. We're gonna walk this Salat Mustaqim or whatever you want to call it, right? If you deviate, you are punished, you're reprimanded. That's a big deviation. We can't give great. The reason that we got so many fuckboys out here now making us look bad is because back in the day we used to chop their heads off. We used to put them on that pyramid and chop their hearts out and use them for firewood. You know what I'm saying? We let too much shit slide, and they not looking at it like, they don't look at it like, oh, Nature Boy's a retard. They look at it like black men. Oh, that's unconscious black men. That's what they looking at it like, bro. Why they ain't never did a documentary on nobody conscious black besides goofy ass motherfucker like Dr. Umar or Nature Boy. You see what I'm saying? So now shit like that, excommunicado, he's supposed to have his head chopped off. Just for making us look stupid. Ain't no, bro, I'm a connoisseur of pain. He ain't went through no motherfucking pain. He was just out there balling it, having all this money and everything else. Did he buy any land? Young Elder, did he buy land? Did he buy anything that meant something to the people? That's how you can tell the agents. The ones that get their pockets, they get their pockets right, but they don't get nobody else's pockets right. They ain't trying to get nothing for they all agents. It's a bunch of them. They stallion now. We don't give grace for that. We don't give grace for that because that's an infection. Just like you say, you don't want Yeah, you can't let that get in our community because once you let that slide, everybody start backsliding and doing the Michael Jackson boom rock walking. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no sliding around this motherfucker. Shit. And then we got the link up. What's that?
I'm saying like there's no comparison really to Nature Boy and the Young Pharaoh really, but like I say, Nate, I used to watch the Young Brother breakdowns on Deep State, and he was on their ass. That's really why they came after him, right, to shut him down. But I believe the ancestors, he attacked the ancestors. He attacked the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Anybody that he could tear apart that did way more than he did. Like God built whole communities, wrote 4,000 books. It's like millions of people, you know. And then you got Elijah Muhammad, the same thing, built a whole nation. But what have he built? And then he come out right to use government COINTELPRO information to tear down Doc. He used all what the courts, this kangaroo court said to tear down Doc. He used what the COINTELPRO operation said about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to tear him down. So whose side is he on? Is he on COINTELPRO operation side or is he on our side? That's all I was trying to figure out. I know you like the brother Black Rock, but once he did that, that's where he went down at. When he started turning against the ancestors, that's where they turned their back on him. And he went to wherever he went. And then I'm gonna tell you, if Young Pharaoh would have never disrespected the ancestors, he would have been on top right now. He'd have been #1 guy. Yeah, because as soon as he did that, the ancestors led him into the Jews, and he started talking about the Jews publicly at certain rallies, at Pacific rallies, and that the COINTELPRO be at, monitoring Black liberation groups, and they put him right on top of the list to shut him down on YouTube, everything. He backed up now running on YouTube, but nobody really listening to him like they was listening to him back in the day. So
I think it's
that part.
I think his ego was his downfall.
That
You feel
part.
me? And his ego and his disrespect for you know, melanated women. You feel me? Because when he started disrespecting them and you know, being too egotistical and just acting like information is his, when if he know all this information, he should acknowledge that no information is his. It's everything as we remembering. You feel me?
And if you notice something too, I'm gonna tell you how you know. I'm gonna tell you how you know the ancestors cut him off, because he's still talking about the same fucking thing he was talking about 7-8 years ago. He's still talking about the white man is a monkey, this and that. Like we already know that. We already know who the monkey is. We already know what they are. The caveman. We already know about the Caucasus Mountains. He's still talking about shit that's like 90s information. He hadn't pulled out nothing new information. That's how you know when the ancestors cut you off. He ain't teaching no new information. He only teaching the same fucking storyline. The monkey man, caveman, white man, the white supremacy game. He only teaching the white supremacy, the still black power, white supremacy, you know, ideology. That's what he teaching. I listened to him recently. I listened to. I'm gonna tell you about Young Iller. I listened to everybody. Like anybody you can name, we listen to him, and not just listen to him, we listen to all their tapes. It's like when I'm driving, I just put the tape on, listen to it. Young Pharaoh, Duke, everybody, man, all y'all. You just don't know. Then so I seen where all the minds, what everybody listen to, what everybody's saying, what they own, what the algorithm is. But like I say, that's where his algorithm. If you listen to his algorithm, he hadn't went past where he left off it, that where he got cut off it. I'm telling you, man.
Oh, you absolutely right.
Let me say this: the last part. You know something. When I'm gonna tell you about the ancestors, when you say you know it all, then that means you don't need to know nothing else. And the ancestors cut your water. Yeah, the ancestors. Yeah. Oshun, all our ancestors cut your water off, and you don't want to get no more water. Because you got it, you don't need to know nothing. You know everything, right?
I see.
And I rest my I rest my
Hey,
what I got to say.
you said it wasn't the same, but what you just said was real. We ain't got to cut him off, but that what I was saying. That's real because when you already know when we in code, it's death before dishonor. When you doing shit just to be seen or you doing shit just for attention, they call it ignorant outbursts. What they used to do to them back in the day, they get violated for ignorant outbursts. You start getting on YouTube and doing ignorant outbursts to draw attention to yourself, like Dr. Umar and Seti did. That's when I lost respect for a lot of these dudes. When I realized Dr. Umar was a goofy. Dr. Umar get on there, he arguing with the general. I'm thinking this dude's a general for real. I'm like, oh man, they putting in work. Man, these dudes are goofies. You know what I'm saying? On Sinetta, all of them are frauds. You on mute.
Hey, let me tell you about Dr. Umar. So with the school and all that, but Dr. Umar know what we know now, right? But he been going on this Black Power, Pan-African, oh, we got slaves and all this shit so long, he can't turn back. He in too deep. He get money from too many organizations. And look, they pay. Look, he the only one that they let on certain media outlets that's owned by the small hats. He on there, and when they get him on there, he talking about slavery and African this and because that's what they the ones that created that scenario with the Wild Bill and Nathan Salisbury, I think that's his name, and it was another cat. There was he was a German Jewish cat. He the ones that wrote up all of this Black America paradigm and gave it to us, like in the early late 1800s, right? And so that's the same paradigm that Dr. Umar is promoting, and he's so deep down into it. He know that we ain't know that. Oh yeah, well, hold on. Now he looking at him, he looked like an Armac. He looked like an Armac, right? So he ain't no damn African.
He sold his birthright. Sold his birthright.
yeah. And what have he went and did in Africa? He don't got no. I ain't ever seen no videos of him over there feeding Africans or doing nothing for Africans.
You know,
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. He might got him. I just don't really. He one of the persons that I don't really watch because. And don't get me. Dr. Umar is very intelligent, and he, when he quotes certain things, if they pretty much a lot of the stuff they ask him, he got a good response to it on a lot of stuff. But the only thing I don't like about him is he know the truth now about all of this information, but he's still going, oh, we got to get in Africa. We got to get up out of here, man. Africa is where it's at. Africa this, Africa that. Yeah, he on that type of thing. Dr. Umar Johnson, man, that's his name. Somebody said
death before dishonor, man. Death before dishonor. What was you saying, Black Rock?
Now I was gonna say it reminded me of what Bobby Hemmett said about how everybody played a role. Like even though we speak about from our perspective of consciousness, how sometimes when we come into consciousness in the beginning and we start to feel like we know a lot and we start to look down on people in religion, I feel like it's kind of a reminder of what Bobby Hemmett said, how like everybody played a role. A preacher meant to be a preacher. He meant to preach you feel me? A teacher meant to be a teacher, even though that's a whole construct that we don't even want everybody play their role. And I feel like certain people meant to be obstacles. Certain people meant to be bridges at first and then turn into obstacles. Some people meant to be obstacles at first and turn into bridges. You feel me? Some people, they all play their role. And some people kind of do more than just play in a role. They observe roles. You feel me? They observe people. So they some people is world builders, they architects, so they kind of gotta observe, you feel me? So I think it's more so like in the midst of everybody playing a role, some people are NFCs, some people are real players, and the real players is the ones who gotta step up the game. We can't be we got to have discernment between NFCs and real players, because sometimes we could mistake a NFC for a real player because of the role they play. You feel me? With real players, we got to have discernment with these NFCs, meaning for somebody, Dr. Umar is an NFC. You feel me? And for somebody, Dr. Umar is a real player. But if he a real player to somebody, they got to be able to discern from his information. If he an NFC to somebody, meaning he an NFC to me because I don't necessarily subscribe to his information or the paradigm he teach. So if anything, he just like a plug-in, you feel me? It's not my reality, you feel me? That's all I got to say.
Hey man, that's good. That's a good point. That's what I'm saying though, bro. In a small amount of time, we've been doing some. This is why I judge people. This is why I even started doing it. How many people has he put on? How many people has he helped? I hate when grown men say, "Man, oh man, yeah, for me to talk, I gotta get this, I gotta get that, I gotta get it." These niggas are turning this shit into like they think they movie stars now. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna put out the good information, Bobby Hemming wasn't on that type time. Bobby Hemming say make a donation. Bobby Hemming still do donation right now. You can get Bobby Hemming a donation right now. You see what I'm saying? A lot of those, the real ones, wasn't doing it the way these guys doing it. And I'm not saying get no money, but if you talk for free, that's what they say with the 5% is right. You give them the information for free, and you have a product to sell in the market. That's what we're supposed to do. That's what we supposed to conversate and then do commerce and everything with each other. You know what I'm saying? So no,
Hey,
what's that,
I
y'all?
was gonna say this. Hey, I was gonna say this too about Dr. Umar. And see, when you see doctor on front of the name, like you gotta ask yourself, where did they get that from? Because like Doc, he had a doctor's degree in linguistics from over in Africa, right? So he learned the Arabic language, the Hebrew, several languages. But Dr. Umar Johnson, I think he don't get his from Africa. He get his from the white man. And the white man's doctor comes with a license, a limited liability. And so now when you see doctor on front of Dr. Umar Johnson name, he got a license, a limited liability. So that means that he got to stay within that license. And so what he learned in school in the Rockefeller Foundation and Inquisition injection system as a black man is that he an African. He came over as a ship, over on the ship. That's what they teach at these colleges and African this, and they only got African studies. They don't got nothing about the Moors. They don't got nothing about Nubians being in America. They don't got none of that shit. At the college that he got his degree from, his license. That's what it is. That's what a degree is. A degree is a limited license. And so when he got that license from, they said in college that he's an African and that he came and the whole storyline he teach. So Dr. Umar is a fucking program. That's what he is. He's a Rockefeller program. He's an agent.
Can I ask y'all a question?
Go ahead.
I want to ask y'all something popped in my head, and I want to ask you before I lose it about the Amazon rainforest. Because I'm hearing that it's some type of experiment going wrong, or it was some type of overgrown or something. So from my perspective or lack of knowing, it kind of sounds like whatever ancient scientists were in that area back in the days dealing with, because we understand that corn is genetically engineered from thousands of years ago from teosinte. So we know that they've been modifying plants and stuff. And we know that they came out with Terra Preta a long time ago, that fertile soil, you feel me? So if I'm trying to understand if y'all have answer for me, was it some type of experiment? Was they like coming up with like overgrowth liquids or something to make something grow quicker or something? Like, y'all, what y'all got on that?
I fold.
Okay, yeah. So what they was doing is back then the air wasn't polluted and the ground wasn't polluted like it is now. On the opposite side of this earth, which is the center earth, which is Shambhala Ariga, as an or the capital it, because there's a whole the inside world is just as big as the outside world, the land masses, right? The mountains, the oceans, the rivers. It's oceans, rivers, lakes, ponds, all that on the other side of the inside of the earth. And so in there, because of the air is cleaner, everything grows double, triple the size. They even reported even you can pull up the beings that live in Mount Shasha, they call it Telosians, and they got certain types of they can control their environment inside of their crystal dome city under this mountain in Mount Sasha, California, and they grow their fruits and vegetables bigger than so back even now, if you look at some of the GMOs, they even bigger. They engineer some of the GMOs to grow bigger. Why? Because if you study what does vegetables need to grow, you study carbon, right? You study carbon, you study nitrogen, and then you study hydroponics. See, okay, so jungles and places like Amazon rainforests are hydroponics. I know you when I say that a lot of shit went to your head because you know about hydroponics. And so if you think about the rainforest and hydroponics, that really give you your answer that if hydroponics grow faster and it grows like I went to this one place, they had the plants in there and they had them hanging upside down in water or growing standing up in water, nothing but water, nothing but some people growing a weed in a fish tank with nothing but water, hydroponics. So yeah, we dealt in the planet was very jungle like, especially over here in the Americas, and we dealt with high community and high what you would call evaporation into the air, and the water wasn't as salty. The water wasn't salty as it was now. The salt water is another factor to hurting the plants because so the water back then wasn't as salty as it is now. That's another thing, and so everything grew triple maximum of size. It was just how nature was more in tune with the planet. They've been attacking nature, these guys, uh, and how they've been attacking nature with frequency weapons, because nature is connected with the frequency. So they've been altering the frequencies because they are going extinct. These guys that's doing this, they going extinct, and in order to survive, they gotta slow. They ain't gonna survive. They really just blotting out the sun now to buy time to get all the underground shit set up so they can go underground. They already built all they already took over half of the underground cities, like 131 of them. It's
You
like
said, hold
2,000.
on, hold on. You said they took over some underground cities already?
Yeah, 131 underground cities. They activated these cities. They've been truckloading food down there, loads of it.
That's like
Truckload
less than
animals.
10%, right?
What you mean?
Like as far as underground cities go, like you know how
Yeah,
we
yeah,
got
yeah. Like around underground cities just in America could be over 2,000 cities, and that's not counting the other 7 continents around the world, and then all the advanced cave systems once you go deeper into the crust, where these Nagas and these ant people dug out advanced caves. You could get lost down there. It's like a fucking maze trying to find a home base, and then some of them got advanced technology where they got doors and hidden doorways to walk into another part of the earth, like stargates. They got hidden stargates down there under there. So, and it's a spider race down there too. But the spider race is being controlled by another group called the Dewarnies. They like a little they like the little porcupine looking guys. But they look like that walking dogs or walking like little bitty bears with like porcupine looking skin. They brown, some of them brown, some of them they like different colors of like a dog. Like some of them got brown spots, black, white. Some of them like a Dalmatian color. Some of them like a brown color, a black color, and then they wear gold and shit too though. These beings. Yeah, but that's down there, so you could get lost, man. So that stimulates like I said, there's other races down there as well that's hiding in like the different groups of reptilians and the coneheads, the derus, right? The Nalcos. You know about all these people if you read the Holy Tablets about Dr. Malachi York. And so Doc pretty much discussed all the people all the extraterrestrials, most of them that we was dealing with, that we've been dealing with in the Holy Tablets. Yeah, but that sums it up to where, like I say, you could put nitrogen. Okay, so one thing they use to make stuff grow fast without the hydroponics is the manure, right? What is in manure? You got to ask yourself, what is in manure? What is the and it's got to be a gas. It's because gas is the ultimate formula to make these plants grow, a certain type of gas. And in that rainforest down there, the gas is different now on the planet because of all the cars. They didn't have cars back then that was pumping CO2. Like so like your atmosphere is 71% nitrogen, and that credit went down. More cars and more trees they cut down. The trees pump oxygen back into the air and it take in the carbon dioxide. But if you keep cutting down trees and then keep on printing more cars, I mean, you do the math. And it'll take a fucking rocket science to figure out, hey, if I print more, if I keep designing, print more of these carbon dioxide polluters machines, and because they got hybrid, they got full engines that can run off water. They got engines that don't need the combustion mechanism no more. They been had that shit before they made the car. Before they made the combustion engine, they had that engine. But they came over and destroyed the Tuskegee Empire, who was riding around with fucking water engines and hydrogen ran engines. They destroyed this shit because the nigga that gave them that technology, the hybrid engine, was Nicholas Tesla from the Venerians, the Venerian. They came with the other guys. The other guys, they all was down here later, Valley and Thor and all them. But Nicholas Tesla gave them the technology for the hybrid engine before they even put out the combustion engine. But what happens? Rockefeller and them come in, they want to sell the oil, so they fucking scrap and patent all that shit, lock it up into under lock and key underground, and roll out the petroleum driven cars, the Rockefellers. And the roads, they own the concrete, all the concrete places. So the roads, and then they own the railroads. They own the railroad land, the railroads. They own the steel that went to the railroads. They own the steel that made all the buildings in New York. They own that steel company, the Rockefellers.
Yo,
Yeah,
Elder,
so
you heard about the new cars they got out now with Ford?
nah.
They doing police recognition, man. Watch these new cars they got coming out now. They doing police recognition just to get in your car right now. Like as soon as you get in your car, it's being read, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
You already know they got that flock thing going on, and then they got some other thing. I think Ford got something that if you mad or your heart's accelerated or something like that, it won't start your car. So don't fall for the hype, man. Get all that fancy shit. Be careful with all that damn so-called technology, because it's just
Yeah,
like I gotta throw that out there. Go ahead.
I know Tesla had a thing on it where they could go to a graveyard and see spirits, the sensors on the Tesla. And so people are going to the graveyard using the Teslas to see spirits in the graveyard. And so that just tell you that spirits are real, that the ancestors are real, based off of just based off of that. So if they go on and seeing those spirits, that means the ancestors are here. But what they did is they cut us off from the ancestors when they try to make us go to this one God and say, oh yeah, this white God, Borgia, worship him, and we could call him Jesus in 325 AD, and pretty much script us, man. I just put out a tape about King James.
Mm-hmm.
King James, man, was the king at 7 years old of two countries, and his own cousin pumped him up the butt and turned him out, and then from that point he went down here, man. But the long story short, yeah, he went down here, man, ever since then.
Hey,
16
let me ask you, going to my next question, right? We be hard
Yeah.
on each other. This is something I hate. I can't stand it. We be hard on each other. I'm noticing a lot of people, they don't be trying to build nothing, but they be quick to try to destroy what somebody else building, right? We be
Mhm.
real hard with each other. We kill each other. We set each other up. We do all this evil shit to each other, right? Why do they got
Mhm.
the white boy in Nashville, Tennessee, running around here calling people niggas and doing all this weird shit and ain't nobody a TOS to that shit?
Because he's a crisis actor. See, they running this. They still, even though George Soros, they put him out of business because they executed all these guys at Guantanamo Bay. A lot of these guys are already gone. They just showing you clones and AI videos when you see videos of them. But they still running that game, so they ran that. Then it's another thing. Not only the Tennessee game, where they want to promote this civil war, this racist civil war, because Trump is white supremacist. People are forgetting that Trump is Ashar Command. Ashar Command is the one that ran this whole white supremacy game down from the top through Hitler and down from Yaku. They jumped back and influenced Yaku to create a superior race, the
But
white man.
that's my
Uh,
question. You said a civil war in Tennessee, right? Niggas kill
yeah,
niggas every day. They ain't worried about it. Niggas kill niggas every day. You've been training for this your whole life. We've been training
yeah.
for this. You know what I'm saying? You've been training. You've been beating your own. You've been killing your own. You've been doing all this. If you're gonna crash out, why don't you crash out on the real ops? You know what I'm saying? What you scared for? It's weird to me that we'll use every excuse not to knock this boy. He is TOS. You know what I'm saying? Like he run around. Man, I wanted to show you this video where he talking to the black women real rough. And they laughing and kicking with him and everything else. I'm like, damn, y'all
That
real
ain't
rough,
nothing.
huh?
And that ain't nothing too. To add to what you're saying, in Africa, a couple a white guy hung a black girl. She was out, and they got her on videos prior to her getting hung, saying praising the white man, saying the white man is better than black man's. That's why I love white man's. This and that. And then
But
two
see
weeks
what?
later, she get her ass hung. Huh?
Yeah, no,
But
no, be
I
especially like that.
had
I hate seeing my women do that. You know what I'm saying? The Africans, anyone from the third world country, they'll do anything for a dime. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to like Turtle Island, we should be way past that now. And it's weird that like I said, going back to the initial question, we'll beat each other half to death. We'll have beef with each other. We'll be mad at each other for the rest of our life if you step on my shoe. But we let these
I'm gonna
we let these Latinos call niggas niggas. We got white boys
yeah.
out here. Everybody's so blatantly racist. Like we got to make these people scared again or something. Like why are we
Hey,
only
I'm gonna tell
fighting?
you what happened. I'm gonna tell you what happened, man. We being targeted. I'm gonna tell you, they really told us in they clone Tyrone. All right, so you ever wonder why the rappers and all these guys getting paid so much money nowadays, and they could get all this jewelry, ride around in all these cars and all that? It's because they all CIA. All rappers are part of the CIA, either knowingly or unknowingly, because the CIA control the rap game through the small hats, and the whole thing is that when they find out that they can use psychological, first thing they had to do is synthetize the music, turn it into digital from analog. Because if you notice in the 60s, when all the music like Isley Brothers, Marvin Gaye, all this different type of music was out, niggas weren't really popping and sliding on niggas. It wasn't really no young niggas. It was some young niggas back then, but they rather knuckle up back then instead of slide on a nigga, right? So, but then when the CIA came in and created Hollywood, and Hollywood spun this music industry because it's like a branch off. And so the psychological warfare and was to get them to create a music that will be this music is a contract that you agree to, especially when you bob your head to it, unknowingly, because it was a dude named John Todd that came out, and he wasn't the first one, but he was a whistleblower for the Illuminati, essentially, or for this secret witch order. He was a Collins. And he said that every CD that come out back in the day, I didn't know this about the I knew about the mastering, but I master my own shit. So, but he said they master these CDs, and then they bring 13 witches in to put a spell behind every song, put a witch, a demon behind every song, and then they put it out. That's why they got to send they album to the label so the label can master it before they put it out on the shelves. And then once they master it, then them demons is on there. See, then once the kid hear it, he bob his head to it, and it makes him he making agreements with these demons without even knowing it. And then next thing you know, he going out thinking that he believing, and the rappers ain't doing none of the shit they saying. And if they is, they in jail because they being watched. If you got over $200,000 and you're a so-called Negro in America, with the real original Moor, you're being watched 24 hours a day. If you're an artist, all artists are being watched 24 hours a day by a secret group outs that they really spun out of COINTELPRO, but now they are part of Homeland. They was part of CIA too, but then they are part of Homeland Security, and the hip hop police, and they watch these guys 24 hours a day and record everything that they do, everything that they say. I don't know why they went out and got this cyber truck that record everything you do, and then some of them youngsters sliding in.
Back to why we not all this drilling that we doing with each other, like you said, they putting the frequency out there. We're doing it anyway.
The music.
Like I'm watching the news, a lot of these people that's going to prison right now, they going to prison for hurting somebody. These people out here killing their kids. These people out here killing their wife. These people out here, something's wrong with their frequency. They turning. But if you're gonna do it, I need y'all to lock in. If you're gonna do it, make it count. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna do it, listen, immortalize yourself. Go ahead and get that what they call it, that GoFundMe or whatever the fuck they call it.
I'm glad you said that, man.
Wait, can I share a perspective right quick?
Let me write that down so I don't forget.
Do y'all mind if I share a perspective?
Go ahead, Brett.
I want to say, I was taking in what y'all was saying, and I had to hold this in for a little bit. I feel like the energy sets the stage. You feel me? And the frequency of the frequency is like the building of the architecture, right? So I say that to say, we gotta remember. Like, all right, just like what I said last episode about these energy or these fields or these egregores, not only do we have to remember that people don't have necessarily control like we do over discernment of choices and whatnot. Not only that, but I say energy sets the stage, because what if the simplest answer to all of this was just shifting the energy? Like all the women, of course all the women ain't gonna do it, because everybody got their own personalities and whatnot, but the women who are in the spiritual or the conscious community, who are initiated in this and that, who walk around and they all white and whatnot, and they talk to the ancestors and the spirits, they do these divinations and whatnot. I feel like we not just in it just to know certain things, or you feel me? I feel like a responsibility, but how I guess what Hayes would say is caretakers, or you feel me, is to not just talk about wanting the land, but also going out and shifting the energy. Women should go out and with these certain herbs and whatnot, ignite them and let the energy, just walk through or whatnot, go through the woods together, go in the street, through the streets together, because we know that people act out off of the energy, how I was talking about the egregores, and people can't necessarily control themselves. So they start to be suggestive programming to do certain things, behave a certain way, follow certain trends, you feel me? Follow certain people, think that ignorance is something that's cool, you feel me? It's a part of a egregore within itself, what we call the Black community. It's cool to be ignorant. It's cool to be in hip hop. It's cool to be in rap. A lot of these children was raised to be ignorant. They was laughed at when they done stuff that they should have been told that they shouldn't have did, but doing to them being laughed at it, they thought it was okay. So as they got older, you can't tell them that they doing wrong by doing wrong, because they was rewarded for it. You feel me? You feel me? So I say it's the energy. We can't neglect the fact that we got to shift the energy if we really want change, because if we shift the energy, people gonna change automatically because they only acting out on the energy, understanding that the physical world is a shadow or reflection of the spiritual world or the ethers or whatever events, saying that what's taking place right now is all we looking at it right now as its present tense, but if everything is happening that we see as present is happening, it's already the past. You feel me? So everything already happened. So it's like we gotta shift the energy to change the happening. You feel me? We can alter which happening we shift towards, which timeline we anchor towards by changing the frequency or the energy of the environment, the planet. People will start behaving different. We don't gotta tell them what to do. We don't gotta tell them what's right from wrong. They gonna start doing it within themselves. You feel me? That's just my perspective on it.
Yo, real quick, the brother had a great comment. They said, I knew when Zimmerman, I knew when Zimmerman was still running around the streets, these YNs ain't about nothing. Only in the jail cells do my brothers still go at them folks. And I'm gonna be so honest with you. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. They was on him, but think about this. He was getting all those donations and everything else. Why you think he broke down? He was putting a lot of that money into Santeria. When I tell you they was on him, like the last Mohicans, they was on that boy, and he put all his money into Santeria to make sure he was untouchable, or for the time being. But he paid good money to be untouchable. That wasn't for lack of trying. I'll say that.
Hey, you know something else? Go ahead.
Now go T.
I was gonna say something about what you said, trying about what both of y'all said. You said a while back. Do you know that the brain can receive signals? Like, have you like and that it can give off signals? So like you could be riding down the road, and then a song come in your head, and then you turn the radio on, and then that song's on the radio. So you ever wonder how do the frequency get to your radio? I mean, to your antenna to your car, and play on your phones or whatever, and it's wireless. A lot of this stuff is wireless. So those frequencies are traveling through the air. So the brain can pick up these frequencies, but and that was a part of telepathic abilities. The phone really is taking the place of is really slowing us down on our telepathic abilities, because we could receive the brain waves naturally before the phone, but now the phone is doing it for us. The phone is being telepathic for us, right? But what they also found out is because keep in mind the military complex has got to stay 40 years ahead of the public, and so they already weaponized. They already realized all of what I just told you, and they weaponized it, and that's what they call in not only the 5G towers is used to get sent fast to internet, it's also used to control people. I remember Mark Brady telling us that a long time ago that in California they was designing the Luciferian Tower, which was before these 5G towers came out. He said that this tower is gonna be able to they're gonna be able to type something in the computer and say kill your family, or smoke some crack, rip his ass cheek off, rip his balls off, or something, in the computer, and then direct that shit. Yeah, they can aim it at you because they got these towers everywhere where they can ping it off the tower, and they can put it in your mind. So think about all them people like Black Rock just said, and like you like you just said, that was going around killing all their kids, like the man down in Boja, Louisiana, that went killed all of his kids and his wife. Another dude just killed all of his kids, and then turned the gun on himself. What if that they already weaponized, and I'm already sure they did it. I ain't know what if, right? I'm just saying that for YouTube purposes. They weaponized this 5G shit to where now, and the phones working cohesive to where that guy, some people with weak minds, a certain type of brain waves, especially people that got to jab, because the jab was to link you into this system secretly. Yeah, the jab. We gotta say it like that. We can't say it. If you don't know what the jab is now, the Ali.
The
We call
Ali.
it the Ali.
Yeah.
They hit him with that Ali, right? It's got nanoparticles in it that's clear, and some of them black. They put it in Coca-Cola, these dark drinks, nano heavy metals, nanoparticles inside of the jab. So when they shoot them up, boom, and then that link you in, that lock you into the system. Then they shoot you again, they'll hit them again, double, second, the booster. They call it a booster because they got to boost you into the system. Boost the system because they boosting up, they activating the system. So it's a lot of people that's online right now to where they could just hit a button. Out of everybody that took that shit, they can hit a button if they ain't got good immune systems. They broke it down. Some of the Nubians people broke it down. That's why they was giving them different types. They give them a different type than they give the other type of people. I gotta say it like this. The other people that ain't our color, they got Moderna, while the other people got while we got Pfizer. And Moderna was a generical experiment, pretty much to try. You know what it was? It was a generical. They gave them that one so that they can try to help boost their immune system to fight to defend them from the sun because they were getting skin cancer. They were dying because the sun attacking them now. The sun attacking them. Remember, I just told you they going underground. That's why Elon Musk is building everything underground. That's why they already built a lot of malls and this in their areas. They going up in the mountains and they going underground. Why? Because the sun is returning, the Son of God, the Son of righteousness. Right? Yeah. They flipped it around now and called it religion. But yeah, the sun SUN is coming back closer. The planet is speeding up to where they're not gonna be able to survive. They're gonna be dizzy to walk around on the surface. You know what it means to be dizzy?
Mm-hmm.
You got magnetic, huh? Yeah, or disoriented. They're gonna be disoriented. That's why. So a lot of them gonna be just going crazy and killing their whole family, going crazy and going in the backyard and fucking their dog up the ass. Just going crazy, man. Chasing motherfuckers down the street. Yeah, doing crazy. I'm telling you, man. They gonna be doing crazy shit.
So what you're saying is we got to go out there and do nothing. Nature doing it for us. Nature on their ass.
They're gonna make them turn on their whole family and start eating them or chop them up, their wife head off and put it in the freezer because they just freaking out because they don't know how to react to this new frequency, this new Schumann resonance that's hitting the planet, huh?
Okay, you just answer that question about the violence towards them. So what is it going on with the love towards them? I'm hearing more of our women. They speaking out like these women in America. Like I said, we ain't worried about what the African women doing. I hate when I see our women over here. Are we feeling that much as men to where our women talk about they'd rather deal with bears, they'd rather deal with white men? I'm like, God, y'all would rather deal with bastard? Where's this shit coming from?
I think they just be talking. You know how sometimes when people just be saying stuff to be funny, but then when some people take what some people say to be funny as literal, so then the whole thing go from being something funny to then people saying they'll really do it.
We can't have it both ways. We can't have it both ways. If we saying, all right, the best investment we can make is in the black woman, right? The melanated woman is the most tangible commodity we have. And we say that she's so magical, her words is power and everything else. If she's saying these words like, damn, fuck black man, and this is the only woman on the planet that just blatantly disrespect her man. Meanwhile, the Indian dudes over there in India, they damn mollywopping they women. Like I'm talking about, they tying the damn cows and some more shit over there in Saudi Arabia. I wish you would take that damn do-rag off your face. They gonna damn beat your ass. You go anywhere and they treat women like shit, but for whatever reason, they got black men as the face of abuse and everything else. Like y'all don't look at nowhere else in the world about for how they treat women. You know what I'm saying? And here the black men over here talking about the matriarch. But mind you, we talking about matriarch, and then we got the women speaking. We know the words of power, right? If they speaking down on us, if they're saying, damn, I'd rather be with a white man. I want to, you destroying, what was that, the connection, whatever. You destroying something magnetic. You destroying something that you shouldn't be destroying, and destroying nature. You know what I'm saying? We could all be working together. But neither here nor there. What you think on that, Elder?
I say that they look like us, but they ain't us. A lot of them women, black so-called Nubian women or dark-skinned women, they be screaming out for the white man, and really, we that's really a loose term, the word white, because we know nobody's white, nobody's black. but for sake of conversation, the pale face for the women, Nubian sisters that holler out and scream out for the pale face, and they root for them. They really look like us, but they ain't us. And then it's another side to where it's a group of the people that look white, but they ain't really white. They really us, like the M&Ms, melt in your mouth, melt in your hand. They got a different color on the outside, but they chocolate in the middle. It's Asians like that. You probably got some homeboys that look white. They call him white boy, but he act hood. Like what's that dude name that just died?
I don't care about nothing. I don't care. Listen, I ain't never been one of them dudes to be like, oh, because he act good. I don't know with none of that shit. I ain't never been on that friendly shit with them at all, period. You know what I'm saying? My whole reality is, when we talk about Black Wall Street and thing like that, my whole reality is I create a business, so I ain't never got to be in their face, period. You know what I'm saying? I got everything. I'm self-sufficient. If we listen, the biggest way, if we gonna be revolutionary, like you say, they look like us, they ain't us, then that means we got to connect back like we used to and connect with people of like-mindedness. Like holla at Melanated Immortals, talking to all these communities that are really talking about we got the Council Khalifa tapping with these tribes that's going for the melanated people. Kari, I sent you the link. We got the link up too. If anybody got any question for Young Elder, we got the link in the chat. But Kari, she putting down in OKC for the melanated indigenous woman. You know what I'm saying? And she got her story to tell. So it's like, nah, man, I don't give a fuck about nobody acting. You know what I'm saying? The universe ain't looking for actors. I don't care about nobody acting or none of that. How can
it's hard to act it out when you cut on the music. It's impossible to act it. You can fight it. Hey, we can be duplicated. What they say, never duplicated, imitated, but never duplicated. Yeah, you can't duplicate this, man. You can't duplicate soul. Soul cannot be duplicated. That's why when they make the clones, they soulless. So we can tell the Cabbage Patch Kids from our people who come out as albinos. The albinos are our people. They Nubians. 2 Africans or 2 Americans, the dark-skinned Native Americans can have an albino child. They come out white with yellow hair and yellow eyebrows and this and that. And it was a race to them. But they still was us. But then there was another group that was dark skinned, and then they had some helpers that was down with them. And so I know what you're saying based on the nigology. You know, nigology is like a barrel of snakes. Like I know you like snakes, but they used to give this analogy about a barrel of snakes. About if you had a barrel of snakes, and say you had 50 snakes in a barrel, and then only one was poison, would you stick your hand in there? You probably stick your hand in there because you're a snake guy. But a regular guy ain't gonna stick his hand in a barrel full of 50 snakes and one of them poison because he don't know which one poison.
If you stick snakes in there, if he stick his hand in there, you're gonna know which one poison is not. If you just look in there first, you know how far to stick your hand in there. But I want you to look up the Naga Kingdom, the Naga Mayans, and the Kalak Mul, the Serpent Dynasties, and why I rock with the Serpent Dynasty, or the Jaguar clan that got real greedy and they started doing like the Romans did. They started trying to tax everybody and everything else. The Serpent clans, they all came together, and because they knew they couldn't just go against them with force, so they came together like we coming together now, like a python, and they string them out with economics. You know what I'm saying?
We are the Serpent clan.
The Serpent clan. So the Serpent clan is like when you talk about the serpent, we everything vice versa. The same time they made them hate the serpent, they made them hate us, they made them hate the black woman, right? The serpent represents medicine. The serpent always was the messenger. Since day one, from there, every time about a serpent was a messenger. Now the message, like you said, the same people that did running the small hats, the same ones that being the executive producer of the CDs, the executive producer over that Bible too. So of course they switched it around a little bit.
Yeah, the Bible is when they made snakes evil. You know what I'm saying? When
the serpent really medicine. Check out Axamare. You know what I'm saying? I know today Ogun Day, but check out Axamare. You know what I'm saying? And his seven warriors. All of them is, if we get into our culture, we won't have to worry about certain things because certain things beneath us. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're on your royalty shit, go into that rainbow serpent energy, that Damballa energy. When you're on that Damballa energy, you always clean, you always hear all white. We talk little. Like they said, we're gonna start communicating through our mind because talking for what? We already know what needs to be done. That's that serpent energy. Serpent don't kill every day. Serpent might eat once a week, might eat once every 6 months. He don't kill every day. He sit back and watch. He can sit in the same place all day, just sit back and watch and learn. Look, listen, and learn. Just pay attention. He ain't messing with nobody. He's sitting back camouflage. Most of the time, you see a snake will never run you down. He ain't never gonna attack you. None of that. He ain't got no legs. You know what I'm saying? So a snake always represents wisdom. That's why I say in the Bible, be what it say something about the wolves, but be wise as the serpent, but gentle as a dove. So you just gotta learn your serpents. Like we don't, the same way we learn about dumb shit, a lot of shit distracting us. If we get into our spirituality and realize we are the serpent. If you from this land, if you from these serpent mounds, if you from these mound builders, they built it for a reason, and they built it for us to remember who we are. You know what I'm saying? We are the children of the sun. Notice how we talk about reptiles, but we the children of the sun, right? But reptiles, they always go out and they're the children of the sun too. They need, if you know their whole skin and the science of that, they absorb the sun too. There's only one person on this planet that don't absorb the sun. Not well anyway. So we, you know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff we be looking at bad when we talk about snakes, but it might not even, it might be some completely different shit. We don't know what's going on. And of course they're calling bad snakes, but even with cobras, most of them snakes that we could talk about so bad, most of them venomous snakes, they're shy as fuck, bro. They do not want to be seen in nocturnal. They be out your way. The only time you get bit by a snake, you went out there and did some stupid shit. You went out there fucking with these snakes, man. That's what it's all about. Don't come fucking with, don't tread on me. Don't come fucking with me. Don't come trying to colonize me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. What you were saying on Black?
No, I was just gonna say I think young elder don't be meaning nothing. I think he just be cause you know when a snake is just like a common thing to say, you feel me? Cause well, you know, we already like grew up in the programming, so when we get out of it, it's just like saying nigga, you feel me? Or hard not to say, you feel me?
No, I don't take no. All I'm saying is the same way we don't say day no more, we say plasma. The same way we say we ain't doing this ain't no week or no weekend. This is a strength or something. I'm learning that from Raj Nam and Melanated Mortals and OJ Yemi. We change our words. We ain't just talking, we word sounding, we get information. So I'm just letting him know where you know what I'm saying, where we are, because ain't no sense talking about.
Hey, I know you like snakes. Have you ever been bit by the snakes that you got?
No. Bit for what? People get bit. Bro, I'm dealing with mostly ball pythons, but people don't even realize the ball python, man, I hate this shit, right? White man, this is why I don't like Africans like that for real. White man went to Africa to the temple of the python, and you know they'll sell anything for $1. So they giving all sorts of cheat codes. They tell him information. He comes back and he comes with a business called owning the gods, own their gods. They know what time it is. They came back and started a whole company and said own their gods, and all ball pythons come from West Africa. That's mostly what I deal with. I don't deal with it. I like the Mexican black snake, but I don't really deal with like poisonous snakes at all. I only deal with ball pythons. I don't like the bigger pythons and the reticulated pythons, shit like that, because it's getting out of it. Sometimes you get out of hand. But ball pythons don't even get that big. They're docile. They're real smart. Look up Oxumare. It's actually a blessing for one who protects a serpent or doesn't kill the snake and keeps one in their home. You have a shield over your home. They give you the ritual. We just not paying attention to it. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody I know that own a snake that they've been bit at least once or twice by a snake.
I mean,
Now I ain't saying that's a bad thing. I ain't saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that's just the nature of a snake. And sometimes it's just because of you. It's just because of you. They feel your energy. And if you nervous, they be like, "Oh, this nigga off, be biting." You know what I'm saying?
This is just said. They feel your energy. Every serpent is connected to the cosmic serpent. This is before Earth. This is before anything. We got a cosmic mother serpent, right? They feel all the energy. If you got a fake ass energy, yeah, they're gonna get back. Man, every time I go somewhere, it's all stand up. Remember on Harry Potter, when Harry Potter went in there, and he went just like, damn, I can understand you. Damn, you locked up. I'm locked up. They treat you bad like they treat me. Once y'all look at and lock in the same way with a cat or a dog bites if the energy off. But no, if you know how to respect the snake, see people look at it like, oh, it's a snake. I'm gonna handle it any kind of way because I'm bigger than it. No, the snake, bro, this thing is primordial energy. If you talk to your rituals, we talk about the birds and everything else. If you're gonna be serious about the indigenous tribes, you can use the serpent to scry into different dimensions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why they call it cosmic serpent.
And we are the serpent clan. We are the serpent people. There's no doubt about it. The Moors
We
are the
don't,
serpent
with
people.
power of words, we don't speak bad about the serpent. You know what I'm saying? We don't speak bad about the mother. We don't speak bad about Mama Wata.
Yeah. That's why you see the ancient Egyptians with the cobra on their headdress, because that's a part of our blood. The Nagas is the part of our bloodline. We are the Nagas. You know, niggas, Nagas. We are the
Hey y'all,
Nagas. We are the
hey y'all,
reptilians.
go get that.
We are the
Everybody in
serpent people.
everybody who watching us right now, go get that book, Return of the Serpents of Wisdom. You feel me?
I said,
Yeah,
and then we talk about ancient. Everybody want to be ancient up until it's time to do ancient shit, right? Bro, look at the pyramids. The pyramids got all dragons on them, bro. If the ancestors already told us what they were doing, why are we asking everybody else and letting everybody else tell our story? I'm talking about, I be looking at certain videos, they be got thousands of views. People, oh man, you told the story so amazing. It's the white man or a Chinese man telling you what the Olmec did. I'm so confused. Meanwhile, they look like, oh, see, y'all, that's not y'all. See, what happened was our hair. They want to be the colonizer, the Indian, the Mayan. So no, man, I really like doubling down on that type of shit and paying attention to what we were saying and everything. Because once we start studying Kalak Mul and understanding that serpent society and how they came together and then destroyed the bad guys. Now, of course, in the future they make it seem like, oh, the serpent society was evil because the white man was scared of it. We don't play by y'all rules. We don't do what y'all do.
Something to make it even deeper. If you go back to the guys who put this whole galactical story together, they really were the bad guys, and the serpent guys were the good guys. Because so let's just go to when the Anunnakis, who are the Elohim, the gods of the Bible, came, they had to make deals with the reptilians that were here already on Tiamat. Right? So, but if you go read the storyline, these reptilians, they were benevolent, and they said that we don't want to do business with these Anunnakis because they malevolence, they evil beings, and we don't trust them. But some of the people wanted to do business with them anyway, so they did the business. But they were right. Their first gut feeling, the reptilians' first gut feeling about the Anunnakis, they were right. Because they end up using nuclear style weapons, all right? So then we speed up to Enlil and them in the garden. And then once we get the whole story, they only give you a little couple sentences of the real story in the Bible. But the real story is that Enlil was training Adam and Eve to take over. They put some of the Anunnakis position to control the humans, to dig the gold, be gold diggers, to be slaves. The humans as slaves for them. And then so they only taught them, and they was compartmentalizing the information to these humans, right? And so they only taught them really nothing, really only how to dig gold. But then these reptilians, they said this serpent came in the garden, who was he was crafty, and then he came into the garden and taught them. He gave them they say he taught them, got them to bait off the tree, but he taught the serpent clan, taught them a knowledge of the stars and knowledge of how to grow food and knowledge of survival. The serpent clan taught these people this. But Enlil didn't want them to know this. And so
all right. Before, I want to say something real quick. I don't want you to forget where you was going, young elder, because it's something about you just said something about the serpent had gave them the wisdom and the knowledge of the stars and whatnot. And we know that those of ancient America were called the serpents of wisdom, or these serpent kings, right? And we know that America was the ones who, in my opinion, was the oldest and in agriculture, or the oldest in civilization. So, and before you have civilization, you got to have agriculture. In order to have agriculture, you got to know the stars. You feel me? And in order to build how they built, they had to know the stars, right? And in order to be seafarers, they had to know the stars, right? So is it safe to say that what you was just talking about in that story, could it be referring to when they was talking about the serpents was the ancient Americans who was feeding wisdom to those?
Actually, the group that was our ancestors who are called the Dogons, one of our ancestors, they give a test to this storyline prior to the Bible even coming out. And in their storyline, they say that these nomos, these are the reptilians that you're talking about, these nomos beings came from Cyrus B. And they were given descriptions of this star system before they had Hubble telescope and all that. And the people that was taking this shit down was writing it down way back then. So they couldn't have had, and these guys didn't have no damn telescope, the Dogon people. And the Hopi is give the same accounts, right?
No, wait, I wanted
Over
to ask you
here.
about that. We've been talking about frauds. I wanted to ask you about that. I just found out, bro, and I had a big respect for the not the Navajo, yeah, the Navajo and the Zuni. They say the Navajo and Zuni are false tribes. They taught them how to act like that because they're
Yeah.
mimicking they're mimicking the Dogon. The
Yeah, I
Zuni,
lived amongst
that fucked me up. I fuck with the Zuni.
yeah. I lived amongst the Navajo and the Hopis for 6 months. And yeah, so and I told them they got mad at me. They was getting mad. I was telling them, man, y'all look Asian, right? But I didn't know all of what I know now though. I didn't know all the shit. I wish I would have knew all what I knew now back then when I was amongst them. I just knew a little bit. I just knew based on what Doc was talking about in the Let's Set the Record Straight book about Ho Shin coming over, mixing in with us. But now I know now that hey, they replaced the Dogon people who were really still over in California, really, as Tory Lanez and all them, right? They call they are the original Tory Lane and his peoples and the people that look like them people. But the people that's in the Navajos, these Hopis, all of these smaller tribes, the Pequot, you got the Pablos, all these different ones. They got these casinos on their tribe. I mean, on their land. They really federal created tribes, and they were they were the ones that were the Slavics and these people off the railroads, the Chinese railroad slaves who were sent to Indian training school to learn how to be us, right? And they replaced the Dogons who was already over. That's why the Grand Canyon is blocked off because you'll find out, oh, this is a Dogon statue. Oh, this Dogon images. This is the star system sirens, like drawn on the wall in the Grand Canyon. Why is that happening? Yeah, because the Dogon people was there. But these Dogon give a test of a story of these Nomos beings coming from Cyrus B. And when they landed, they taught them the motion of the stars. They taught them about harvesting, how to plant food, what time to plant it, when the springtime, spring equinox. They taught them about the spring equinox, the winter solstice, the different four seasons. This is stuff that Enlil didn't want the humans to know. But these reptilians gave them that knowledge. And that knowledge made them what they didn't need Enlil no more. They didn't need Enlil to teach them how to grow food because these reptilians, these nomos, or these amphibious beings, taught these humans how to grow food based on watching the stars. Not only that, they taught the humans how to build boats and then use the stars to sail around the planet. And these became your Amir, your Amaru, your Moors, your Mauritanians, your Felician Moors,
Yo,
who were the ones that were using the stars to sail on Earth. Huh?
you ever seen that movie, The Dark Crystal?
Is that one with Indiana Jones? Oh, is it the one with that black dude from London?
No. Hold on. What's good, guy, man? Hey, man, welcome back to the channel. Big 504 in the building, y'all. Somebody finally hit that link. See if y'all got something to say to your elder. Come on, tap in. Hey, bro, he from New Orleans. Man, tell him, introduce yourself, guy.
Yeah, I'm Mike, man. It's good to be on and with Arisha and the rest of you brothers, man. I've been watching intently and listening, man, and learning, man. To the soldier Black Rock, Chief Black Rock.
Good. We're good.
I want to salute you, bro. Man, your art and your work, man, it's come a ways, man, because I've been watching you for a minute, man. and I've been peeping and watching your growth, bro. And I like the things you're doing with your videos, bro. That's nice, man. I got something, man.
Appreciate
I
you.
got something. I got something I want to put to you, man. So far as some music, bro, and see if you could do something with it, man. With your visuals. I got something for you, man. You know what I'm saying? So I need to get with you, man, and see what your ticket number be on that, bro. And to the
Alright.
brother Young Elder, say, bro, man, me and my people been watching you for a minute, brother. And man, salute to you, bro. You done had some videos, bro. I remember I sent one of your videos, man. It was a while back, man. It was like a montage video, bro. But I sent it to my people, man. I sent it to the elders, and my family, bro. And they was really impressed by that, bro. You know what I'm saying? I think the video was concerning, just showing who we are on, you know what I'm saying, on the land and stuff like that in this area. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of our elders been misled for so long. They knew who we were, but they didn't to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? And in the videos you had, bro, you know what I'm saying? It really broke ice with my people, bro. So, man, blessings to you and yours, bro.
Yeah, hey, down there in Louisiana and New Orleans, we the Washita overall. That was like the main mother, the older tribe, but we broke off into smaller groups, like the Chata, and then when the French came, they mixed in with us. They created the Creole. So the Creole, our family too, they Chata mixed with the French, with the light skinned mulatto French that came over. But a lot of the end of Gullah Geechee came down there too after the Seminole Wars, and that's what brought the gumbo and all that. Because the gumbo, so we as Chatas, we invented the New Orleans Indians who dress up as the Mardi Gras. That's the real people. That's the people you see doing the Mardi Gras, and they saying that they tribes and this and that. That's the real people. That's the real Washita. They just forgot. They ain't black Negroes and colors. I can go into the whole. Go ahead.
I never really liked that story about how, because if 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 you talk to somebody who masks, they call it masking, right? If you talk to somebody who masks for the with the Indians and stuff like that, I never did like the story of how they teach it. The story that they say is that the because all the slaves, they say the slaves were cast out the city of New Orleans, right? And they had to march and they had to go, you know what I'm saying, in the surrounding areas. And that
Yeah, when the Saints go marching in.
And they said it was taken in by the Aboriginals or the indigenous of the land, and they was taught how to fend for themselves, how to food, you know what I'm saying, how to
That's a lie.
Stuff like that.
That's a lie.
And the masking is the homage that they pay to those indigenous. And to me, I was always like, why is it like they telling this story like that's not us? You know what I'm saying? Like apart from us, we paying homage to something that's not us when that really is just us. That's our family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The French, when the French came, they the ones that changed it around, right? When the Napoleon and all of them, they the ones that changed that narrative around. But the original narrative was the original that New Orleans was an intake and Mobile, Alabama. This was our two intakes. So in order to get on our land, you couldn't come straight through the East Coast and land. They only record that during like the 1600s, the early like 1500s when somebody landed on the East Coast. Most of the people, if they wasn't invading us and they was coming to do business with us, they could go up to Mississippi, right? So they would come to Mobile or New Orleans, and when they would come, we would have these welcome parties, just like they had when you land in Hawaii. They welcome you there, put the shit around your neck and all that. So the Washita would have welcome parties with the big chief and the scout, all this. They would go out and welcome the other chiefs, the kings of royal bloodline that were coming over here through the intake, and that's what it was. But when the French came and we welcomed them into it, that's when they took it and said, "Oh yeah," they started celebrating it at Mobile, Alabama at first, and they took it and twisted it around and made us into Africans from Africa, and said, and the people that they got down there now, like the Natchez Indians, they more up north. The Coshada Indians that they got now, they all incorporated $5 Indian federal recognized tribes of Slavics that were brought in, and Chinese workers that were brought in as sugarcane workers, because we the sugarcane people, and down in our land, down in Louisiana, we the sugarcane people, and that's that's what Coshada really means. Coshada people means the cane people. And that's what we raised there, and especially in North Louisiana. But so they switched the Mardi Gras story around with the French when they came in, and they said they gave you the storyline that we helped that these people helped us out and we would return them. No, that's a bunch of bullshit. What happens is we help these French out. We helped them out. They were the Slavics. They were the ones that were being brought over here to work the plantations. The Slavics. Slavic don't apply to us. They from Russia. Go ahead.
Man, there's this guy. I think I believe his handle was called Bigger Haitian or something like that on IG. But he was doing this run right time with a bunch of his reels, right? This was a while back, like a year ago or so. But he brought up this point that I thought was cold blooded, and it was that in Louisiana, we was French Creole, right, and Indian.
Yeah.
That the Creole was our main language because it was outlawed when the what you call it, the black laws. What that was?
Yeah, like black laws, the black Christian codes of 1724. Yeah.
He was outlawed from speaking that, and the dude made such a point, and how he listed it and how he gathered it, it made all the sense in the world. So I found out when I did my genealogy, on my mama's side, we was never slaves, and we was French Creole Indian. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And the Creole part, I believe, come from the Geechee, the ones that was from Seminole, the Seminoles.
A lot of us in Louisiana, we got Haitian ties and stuff like that, but the Caribbean and from that part of the world, you know what I'm saying? And
yes, that's the go ahead. Yeah, that's the part that Haitian connection come from them Geechees, from Gullah Geechees, people who was
Louisiana was an outpost. Outpost of Haiti. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right. He right.
Before that Haiti revolted. And when
that's
Haiti
right.
Revolted, it's like Louisiana they doubled down on whatever it was to make sure they wouldn't having the same thing in Louisiana, because a lot of those people, it was, they want to say about Africa, but it was really going from the Caribbean and going from those islands right there, going back and forth, bringing, you know what I'm saying, or as slaves or servers or indentured servers or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But from my understanding, that's the dude, Bigger Haitian, man. It just made so much sense. You know what I'm saying? That
he right.
Was like the main language, you know what I'm saying? And we was forced not to speak it. And you get to some of these people, they got some other people. I forgot the name of the dude, but he goes and duck a cat out of Lafayette, you know what I'm saying? The red dude, and he go to speaking about his family, and he go to talking about how Creole was statewide, you know what I'm saying? The speaking code, it killed a lot of that, you know what I'm saying? And we lost a lot of that, you know what I'm saying? And they make it to like the French is white, but it's not, you know what I'm saying? They make it to like Creole.
You know what too? Another thing too is that it might wasn't our people might wasn't calling it Creole because the French might have called it Creole, right? I'm with you what you're saying when you say that we were speaking this language, right?
It was a misnomer.
Creole might have been like I don't know what. Like you make me want to go look more into it now and find out what was they calling it before they started. The French called it Creole. What was they calling it? Because they were. I know the Gullah Geechee was already speaking that language. The language that you're talking about, the Gullah Geechee was already speaking it, and they went down to the Seminoles, and then when the Seminoles got beat, they pushed to Louisiana, and then some of them did, and then even before then, based on going back to what you said about the brother from Haitians, when the French and when the Spaniards attacked like the Puerto Rico, right? Bodega. When they attacked these islands, these people fled. Some of them fled to come here because they was already used to coming here. They was already used to going back and forth. So a lot of the people from Bodega tribe that was getting attacked by Christopher Columbus, them right? They left and came here, hit Florida. And so, yeah, I'm with you. I'm with him when he say that they was already speaking that language prior to the French. It's probably that when the French came, they started saying, "Oh, because they got a slit of tongues, they probably started calling it Creole." Or maybe it was the Akata language or the Washita language that they were speaking. But then they just started the French. Somebody else might call it something else different. But I'm gonna look into that though. I'm gonna look more into that. What did they call that Creole language before the French came?
Chief Mike, man, I gotta ask you a question because man, I'm glad you also brought that up about the genealogy, bro. I think it's real important we all tap into that genealogy, man, because you'll be surprised what you find when you go back and just because they say Scotland or Ireland or France, that don't mean automatically white. You know what I'm saying? It just means that's where it's from. That's where they from. So I know a guy that she really tight on that genealogy thing. Yo, Chief Mike, you got man, and this brother, man, he can bear witness. We be in New Orleans and we try to go to the most cultural places, but even on places like Bourbon Street, they trying to whitewash even the drum line, all white people now. You don't even see black people on the drum line no more. They stopped us the way Brother Mike met me. We out there vending. I used to go out there in New Orleans and vend on the street corners and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? We can't even do that no more. You need a permit to do that. What's that, Brother Mike?
They really commercialize. They didn't commercialize the city a lot, but you know, people from New Orleans, they know New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? If you say like you don't know New Orleans or you don't have nobody from New Orleans, you know what I'm saying, to come in and kind of take you through the city, the real city. People go on Bourbon and Canal, but man, the real New Orleans don't mess with it. Well, they do, you know what I'm saying, but it's to make money and it's to hustle. You know what I'm saying? They got a whole nother part of the quarters that, you know what I'm saying, the real New Orleans go and the real New Orleans get down with whole, you know what I'm saying, the whole part of the 7th Ward that people really be in and really, you know what I'm saying, be doing anything in the city like that. But the city been commercialized, and you gotta know or have you a real inroad into the city to really see what the city really be. You know,
you gotta pay everywhere to park. I'm talking about we got a boot on our car. I'm just trying to me and Bay just trying to have some fun for her birthday. We ain't got a boot. We was hustling because back in the day I used to be a street vendor. I was just sitting on the corners, but this kind of I guess what made me go start, you know what I'm saying, step my game up because they stopped letting all the black people vend and they started letting the white people vend because they said they had license and shit. I'm like, bro, they had an all white drum line. You ain't see the black drum line no more. They really took that shit crazy.
The videos that, you know, they be talking about that. It is wild. People be doing second line and with nothing but white people second line and stuff like that. But I'm gonna tell you, this was so crazy about New Orleans, man. I was thinking about this the other day, man. You know, they got that shit going on with our governor, with Jeff Landry, right? They did the bill, and it's kind of like they didn't kind of roll the shit away. It's almost taking us back to attempting to taking us back to Jim Crow. Man, how we thinking about it? Because you see the younger generation of these white folks, right? Man, you always see them dance. They dancing our music, or they dancing a black culture, right? They doing our dance moves. They carrying themselves as such, saying, I think, especially in Louisiana, it's like Louisiana is like a thing. It takes them and it moves them. Like our white people is different. You know what I'm saying? Like we got different type of crackers, and that's right there. And I'll be thinking about that because I'll be like, how this young generation moving forward, and they voting to take away our rights and to roll the time back, to put us back in the fucking, you know what I'm saying, the Jim Crow era. But I say that this young era is they showing nothing but love in the way how they, you know what I'm saying, how they attempting to be up or attempting to assimilate our culture. And that should be weird to me, man. I'll be like, damn it, you know, Louisiana is backwards and crazy as ever, man. But you know, it's Louisiana, you know what I'm saying? It's just something different, you know what I'm saying? This what I want to say, bro. They got spots out here in the city, in New Orleans, Arisha, that dude, when I tell you, bro, man, Magic magical is it's not even a word, man, that can hold it. Last time y'all was talking about the conversation y'all had about the trees and something about trees y'all was talking about. Man, they got a spot out here in the city, bro, in Audubon Park. I shit you not, bro. It's a grand. They call it the Tree of Life. And say, bro, I've been showing some things, man. I'm telling you, bro. If I was to sit down with y'all, man, and show y'all some of these pictures I got, man, some of the things that were revealed to me, queen of mine, man, say, bro, y'all wouldn't believe it, man. But when I tell y'all some of these cities, man, and some of these places, man, where these old, yeah, I call them grand elders. Say, bro, these are y'all centers, man. Some of these parks, the things I realize about these parks, man, these parks are living energy centers, man. And right, man, while had this shift going on, it seems like we have a pull as a people, right? Everybody's light is coming on, right? Everybody's with their health, your fasting and stuff like that. That's not for nothing. That's because everybody's being called, right? Because the energy levels is rising. And the thing I found out, man, these parks, where these oak trees be at, man, these 200, they say 200, 300 years, shit probably older than that. Man, these are living energy centers. Meaning, if you've been grounding yourself, right? These are places where you could go and you could literally plug into like a socket and charge up. Now, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you your ass gonna take off and start fucking flying, or you know what I'm saying. But this one I'm gonna tell you, man. Everything grows in increments. It's like going out. It's like going and working out, right? If you train in something, right, and you consistently training it with intention and passion, man, you will see growth. And whatever that growth is for you and how you see it and how the spirit envelops it and develops it for you, bro. But man, I tell you, man, these trees are energy centers, man. So wherever y'all at, however y'all at, especially, man, you reach out there in Florida. Whew, boy, I don't know what they got something called a bobo. What tree is that, man?
Next time you go to Orlando, it's in the park down there, and it's funny because when you told me about that, you know, this my dragon, this my Naga brother, right? So Russ said this, and then I started looking at the oak tree in our park, and it starts looking like dragons. But they tell you that they hung a bunch of black people from this tree. But I started looking at the tree, and I'm seeing different dragons and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So I most definitely, bro, like, hey, young elder was talking about the Naga before we get out of here, because we not did to young elder was talking about the Naga. What you got on your Naga, brother Mike? Before we get out of here.
So okay, so check this out. So on a Naga. This, and I'm going back to this tree, right? This tree, bro, this tree, it has grown up from the roots. It's almost like art. Dude, there's this Naga coming from under the tree. And the reason I know it's a Naga, because the pictures I took of it and what was revealed, you could see the call. The Naga is on his belly and the call is around it. It looks like root on the tree. It looks like roots, but it's not. It's the tail of the Naga that's called up in the tree. It also has, it's almost like art. You see, there's dudes that's being pulled in by either some kind of alligator or some kind of serpent. It look like bald-headed white dudes. I shit you not, man. This is all in the tree, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling y'all this, man, because there's not a lot of people I've shared this with, bro. But I'm just reiterating so y'all me read my conscience, read my spirit. These things are real, man. There's a whole quantum level, man. And I'm saying it like this is ancient, but this is not ancient because it was revealed to me and how it was given to me. Man, I got a picture. Man, I got pictures with the spirit right on the side of me, dude, that revealed this to me. My camera, I thought it was broke when I was taking a picture of it. I thought it was broke because it wouldn't focus it. But then when I looked at it, it revealed the whole thing. And I've been back to that tree many times and tried to just look at it like, can I see it? Can I see it without that camera? And dude, it's almost like in the movies, man. It be hidden right in front of you. It's like a quantum level. And dude, then you hook back up, bro, and I get to sit down with you, man, and I get to show you some of these. reason I wouldn't want to show them on here because I wouldn't want some whoever to go and take them in. You know what I'm saying? Because how they was given, it was sacred, and I hold it. Okay? So I meet with the chiefs, give it to like that. But dude, this is real, man.
Man,
Real.
hey man, before we get out of here, brother Mike, tell them about you. How can we find you on social media and everything? This brother right here is real revolutionary and everything. Every time I come to New Orleans, he always show me love. How can we find you, support your music? Because your music be going all the way in. How can we link up with you and support your music, God?
I appreciate that, bro. YouTube, you could go the Cool YouTube channel. You're gonna see me, my sons. I got, you know what I'm saying, the blogs and stuff like I did, you know what I'm saying. See me doing my thing, and my, you know what I'm saying, my sons, we do music together. And on Instagram, it's the King's Cool, the KINGZ _ KOOL, the King's Cool. When you see it, you'll see I got a picture, I got an image of Marta, which is Mushu, and that's my image. Mardi Gras and Mardi Gras colors, you know what I'm saying? Purple and gold, you know.
I say, man, Chief Black Rock, man, I gotta thank you, man, because you be doing such amazing work for me. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how many people hit me up, but like, yo, man, that intro was fire. This, and that. This is the guy, y'all. This is the guy right here to be doing all those amazing intros. Chief Black Rock. What is your YouTube? How can we get in contact with you? How can we book you? We need to try to like get in line so we can book you to do some work for us. How can we hit you up?
All right, for sure. Well, you know, my Instagram, you can DM me, chief.blackrock22.horn of the sun. That's if you want to contact me, you can contact me there. If you want to look at some of my videos, you can catch them on there. You go to my YouTube at Chief Blackrock. You can go to my other YouTube. And if I'm speaking too fast, just, you know, come back to the 2-hour mark and then you're going to see where it's at. And my other YouTube is Dark Matter Decode, where I go in on some information with my visuals.
Oh, they got a question for you. They say, is your mother Oya? Is your head Oya?
I don't know who this is, but I know it's black tourmaline, some peridot, some lapis lazuli, and some obsidian, and some cornelian.
You're representing the divine feminine. And speaking of which, man, Mother's Day coming up. I might not talk to y'all brothers again until next Mother's Day, Matriarch Day. But for us, you know, we celebrate Mother's Day a little differently. But just to put that frequency out there for this Mother's Day coming up, man, y'all got anything to say to the goddesses, the matriarchs?
Right. I mean, I got something to say. I ain't gonna lie.
Go ahead, do your thing.
All right, so I want to say, be the change you want to see in the world. You feel me? Control your energy. You the main satellite, the main frequency, the main remote control. You feel me? So, you know, we play our role as males, but, you know, at the end of the day, it got to go through your processor, through your generator. You feel me? So that's what I will say.
I'll say. What you about to say, young elder?
I say we tell the matriarchs we back, man. Big Mama's babies is back. When I say Big Mama's babies is back, I say that we smarter. You know, as our people, we smarter now. We ain't going for like all of the shit that our ancestors went for. And the shit that we don't believe everything we see on TV no more. We don't believe everything the government say no more. We don't believe everything that they've been doing. That like we ain't with it. So it's like it's a new day and time for us as a people, right? We back. We woke. We ain't critical. Not everybody's up to speed, but enough people's up to speed to where it's gonna landslide at the wrist up into the.
What you going to say? It's plenty of us. It's plenty of us.
Yeah. That's right.
Yo, I appreciate y'all. Yo, elder, what's your cash app? What you got coming up next?
Hey, The Young Elder, man, go subscribe to my page, The Young Elder. I just put out the King James today and tape on jurisdiction today. Tomorrow I got the tape coming out. It's like almost 40 minutes long. AI tape on the Archangel Metatron, the 11th Elder. So that's like a fire long ass Masonic tape. And then tonight I'm finishing this tape up about the story of Archmos and Cogmos. So that's gonna be another one that's gonna be good.
I shall say. Brother Mike, you had
Yeah.
anything for the matriarch before we got out here? Before, like I say, shit. Say some positive to the black, beautiful indigenous black women.
Yeah, I love you. It took me damn 50 years, not quite 50 yet, but it took me damn to realize who they and who I am to them. And I found these women, man, are keys. They're real keys. And for a long time, I didn't even know how to utilize the key properly. But I thank God time is upon us to where I can know stuff and move forward accordingly. So I thank him and love him. May God bless him.
I shall say, man, most definitely. We look, let us be in our nature. Y'all be in y'all nature. Let us be in our nature. We here to design to protect for y'all, provide for y'all, love on y'all. You know what I'm saying? And kiss on y'all, lick on y'all, all that. You know what I'm saying? So we love divine feminine. We ain't writing these scripts where they got this dumb shit on TV. Don't fall for it. They running these little scripts and things that they trying to put out there on us. You know what I'm saying? We ain't on that time right there, man. So man, I appreciate y'all for tapping in. And yeah, we about to get out of here.
Blessings, man. Up, man.
I say.
I walk slow, I talk low.
Listen.
Listen to the stones.
Listen to the stones. Listen to the bones. Shadow and smoke. Concrete and steel.
I don't say much,
I let the silence speak. Every step I take got memory underneath.
street lights hum low like they know my name. Wind move different when I'm in my lane. I've been here before, just not like this. Same soul, different risk. I walk slow, I talk low. I see things you don't show. No rush, no noise, just a man and his poise.